that's when we get
It got hot in here.
the goods. Is it hot? We are rolling.
Oh, okay. All right. Welcome to another installment of The Imperfect Homeowner by the Imperfect Podcasters. I'm Jennifer. This bearded wonder next to me is Wesley.
Hello.
And today our topic will be about air filters.
Yes.
Kick us off because you are the resident expert.
Well, let's, I don't know, we'll spend a little time just chatting about air filters. This is kind of the forgotten thing when it comes to owning a home. This is something we're actually somewhat experts in. So the air filter does a lot of things that people probably don't think about. One is air quality, right? Because air quality in the home is a big deal. And it's not the only thing you can do in air quality. However, it is a big deal. So I'm going
to stop you because I'm just going to do layman's. What does air quality mean to you or the homeowner?
Well, it's, for like me, I've got a lot of allergies. This time of year, it's pretty horrible because, flowers are blooming and pollen's all over the place. So that's what makes my eyes itching and watering and sneezing. And
so just like you get your alerts for the weather, the air quality outside, you get your reds and your greens and your yellow, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
So inside your environment.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is, you have your own in-home air filtration system, essentially, with your air conditioning system. This is the time of year that it just gets really bad when it comes to that. And we're also finding that in this time of year, because we're out doing maintenance and stuff, that we're finding that the imperfect homeowner's not changing that filter very often. And we're even, because people are turning on their, we've had some days a little bit warmer, people turn on their ACs and they'll start freezing up. And that's usually what we find. So I've got a few examples here of filters that we carry, and one, I don't know where this one came from, but this is a 1-inch filter, and I don't know if you could see the pleated, can you see that on there, like how it's the pleated part of the filter? Mm-hmm. This is when we start looking at MERV ratings, and that's how filters are categorized. Is by their MERV. Don't ask me what that stands for.
MERV?
We can Google it.
MERV.
But that's just the ratings MERV does to determine how well it will filter the air. So as you can see on this one, see how it's really wide.
Oh, between the scrunches. What did you call them?
The pleated
Pleats in the pants.
This one looks like it's like a MERV 3, which is not much of anything. And then this one's...
But these are what you can get at whatever place, like Kroger or Walmart, stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah, so this is a MERV 10, which is a good middle-of-the-road rating to have, because if this is too tight together, which we don't have any of those, that's typically what you see in your allergenic filters. They get real tight, but the problem is airflow.
Right?
You won't get that good airflow through it, in which that suffocates the system.
Right.
It's almost the same as breathing through a straw. You know how asthma, you hear about people with asthma.
Or an N95.
Yeah, or an N95, yes. So it's good to just kind of slow down and take a look at the MERV rating. A 10 rating is right middle of the road where you need to be at.
Which I hear you a lot recommend these more than anything because, like you said, it's good in the middle of the road. It's not going to break the bank, but it's also going to do pretty good for you. And then we have these two right here, right?
Yeah, we got a couple of thicknesses. So this is a 1-inch thick. This is a 2-inch thick, and these are never the exact 2-inch. You can see how they have the the 16 by 20 by 2, and then underneath it, it has the actual size. There is some slots that these go in that are very specific and they're hard to find. So when you have your system installed or you're having issues with filters, we actually have things we can do with getting you into a normal size filter.
And we could show you how to do it, how to change them. And then when we call and ask your size, this is where you'll find it actually on the filter.
Yeah, so then this one is considered a 4-inch filter, and it's a 10 MERV. It has about the same when it comes to the pleated, as you can see. So the difference is on these is, so this 1-inch, you want to change it about once a month. And really it just depends on the traffic in your home. That's what I tell everybody. Like, we got 3 doggies, we're in and out of the home quite a bit. That's when you'll start, if you're in and out of the home with the winds blowing like it is, you'll get dust and dirt and all that stuff. This actually might need to be changed every 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the activity in your home.
Right.
And then the 2-inch filter, we typically recommend about every 2 months. 2-inch, 2 months, and then
that's easy.
3 to 4, you want to do about every 3 months.
Okay.
You can do these at. So this is something that you got to kind of pay attention to. So something that we could touch bases on. If you look at the end of this filter right here, it has an arrow on it. You see that arrow?
Yep.
So what that arrow does is, it even says it on there, it says this is the airflow direction.
Because a lot of the time it does not get put in right. Yeah.
So if you're changing your filter up in the ceiling, like in a hallway or something, most of the time it's going to be one of these 1 inches. So you could see, here's an arrow. This right now I got it pointed down, but if it's in the ceiling, I'll turn it this way. It actually is going to be pointing up, and it'll go into the ceiling like this.
So you want the arrow to be pointed in the, okay.
Yeah, because these are designed to have through the MERV and the pleated and the pores within it are designed to catch those allergens and particles and all that stuff when it's going the right direction. Now, don't ever like, oh, this side's clean, and flip it over and put that in.
Like underwear on laundry day?
Yeah, dirty underwear day, yeah, you got to switch it out. So you can't just stick it in there, then you're going to puff all the stuff in there.
Into your air.
Into your air.
Okay.
So this is some of the basics of it.
Now, what does it look like if you don't change these at the proper time?
I'm glad you asked. So we actually had a house we went to just the other day that this filter was pulled out.
Oh, God. Whew.
And
that's thick.
From what we understand, this is about a year's worth of not changing the filter. Grab this 1 inch right here. We're gonna let's put it next to it. So that is the difference between a very clean one and a very dirty one.
Whew. Change your filters, people.
So what happens when it comes to and another reason, so it cleans the air, it helps with that, but it also protects your inside unit. So what happens if you don't change your filter or you don't have one in it, then the blower wheel would get clogged up with all the dirt and dust. The evaporator coil will get the same thing. And it gets really expensive to have to pull those things out and clean them up. I mean, you could spend anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 just pulling out these components to get them cleaned. It also it puts a lot of wear and tear and strain on the system because it makes it run even harder than it normally would because it's all dirty and stuff. It makes the unit run actually hotter than it's supposed to during the summer. And that'll actually tear up the outside unit, the compressor outside. A lot of us don't think about how important it is on these filters, but yet it's one of the simplest things to do,
right,
to change. There is services out there that you can have filters delivered to you once a month, and that's a good reminder of when it hits my doorstep, it's time to change my filter. And then you could even, nowadays you just set a reminder on your phone on, hey, it's time to change the filter, and go do it. Sometimes if you're renting the home, or even when your mortgage is due, it's once a month. Those are coming regardless.
Change your smoke detector batteries.
And check your smoke detector batteries.
People religiously clean out the dryer lint to protect their dryer, and that's an expensive piece, but it's no AC unit. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. And it causes fires for dryers, and these will do the same thing. It's just not quite at the same level, but you can get all that buildup inside the heating elements and stuff, and that'll cause it to smell funny. So yeah, that's when it comes to air filters. This is something that we just don't think about.
And what can we do? I know a lot of people either can't get up in their attics to change it, or they don't know what size they need or where to find it. We are always a phone call away, and that's just something we can walk you through, or we can come out and do it for you, no problem. Especially if you're in the area, we'll just come handle it for you. And we can order you cases of filters and deliver them for you. That way you have them on hand. A whole year's supply or half a year's supply, it's pretty inexpensive when it comes to the unit itself and protecting that investment. So just give us a call if you have any questions about any of it. Honestly, this guy right here will drop his knowledge. I'm not so great with it, but I'm learning.
I'm glad you were here with me today to go over air filters.
If you like this video, subscribe, share it, and comment if you want to see anything, any topics that you might be of interest. And then follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all the things.
And YouTube.
Yes. We'll see you again next time.
See you later.